The snowy banana. Who is the most based character in the Old Testament?
The most based character. Man, David was pretty based. David was super based. Maybe Elijah. Elijah. So here's the thing about Elijah. He challenged. This was at a point when Israel had been taken over by pagan religion. The king was a pagan. He was an idolater. The queen was an evil queen. I mean, if you've ever read like the Chronicles of Narnia, you know about the evil queen, the Snow Queen. She was basically a real life version of the Ice Queen from Narnia. Just super evil. Killed people just mercilessly, had them killed prophets, killed God's prophets, hundreds of God's prophets. She just had them slaughtered. And here you go. Here you've got Elijah. Now, Elijah had gone to the king with a pronouncement from God and had said, there's not going to be any rain on the land for 3.5 years. And lo and behold, there was no rain on the land. There was a drought. And so nobody had any crops. Nobody had water, or very little water, because they were alive, but there was a drought and it was really hard times. Some of you guys, if you live like in California or out in the West Coast, you've dealt with some droughts in past years. It's brutal. And everyone was blaming Elijah for this. Well, Elijah comes out of hiding after 3.5 years. And he challenges the prophets, the priests of Baal, the false god, Baal, if you will, Baal. And he brings them up onto Mount Carmel, which is this high mountain. And he says to the people of Israel, he goes, how long will you limp between two opinions? If the Lord is God, Yahweh is God, worship him. If Baal is God, worship him. And he sets up this challenge. It's challenge of the gods. He says, whichever God can call down fire from heaven, that is the God that we'll worship. And the people agree to this. And you can sort of see the prophets of Baal kind of, shall we say, wetting themselves, because they've got to be terrified because their God's not real. Okay. But they're exercising power, ideological power and control over the people based on this false God. So for most of the day, the prophets of Baal are up there praying to their God, crying out to their God. And they're doing these obscene, violent acts. They're cutting themselves, harming themselves. The blood is flowing freely. There's no fire, but the blood is pouring down from their wounds, self-inflicted. And Elijah starts to mock them. Rather than, you think maybe you would have some pity on them. Oh, they've got their religion, I've got mine. Maybe theirs isn't so bad. I kind of feel bad for them. No, he starts mocking them. He says, oh, maybe your God is on a trip. Maybe he's on a journey. Surely he's a God. And then he goes, maybe he's relieving himself. It's like, he's just merciless. And he knows at any time, these guys, they outnumber him, several dozen to 1, 400 to 1. And he's just mercilessly mocking them, mocking their God, mocking their whole system. And then finally he goes up and he cries out to the Lord and says, Lord, show them that you're the real God. God instantly sends fire down. It burns up the sacrifice, dries up all the water. He had poured water on the sacrifice just to show that there were no tricks. Burns up all the water, and then has and then rallies the people and has the people slaughter the prophets of Baal. These were evil people who were leading Israel astray, holding them captive to false ideologies, just spiritually enslaving the people, and just wins this unbelievable victory, and just totally based the entire time. Not once is he afraid. Not once does he cower. Not once does he try to be winsome or win them over. He says, this is the truth, and I'm not afraid of that. I'm going to stand firmly on the truth. And lo and behold, truth wins out. So just thoroughly based. I would say he's got to be in the top 3 for most based in the Old Testament. Maybe the most based. And actually, there's a reason. One more thing, really, really quick. There's a reason why when the prophet Malachi is talking, he's foretelling of another prophet who is going to come and prepare the way for the Messiah to come, for the Lord to come. And he says that Elijah is going to return. Elijah is going to come back. And at that point, the Hebrew people reading that, the Israelites would have said, oh, Elijah. Yeah, that's exactly who we want leading the way before the coming of the Lord. And lo and behold, if you read the New Testament, Jesus says that John the Baptist is the Elijah. He's not the reincarnation of Elijah. The Bible doesn't teach reincarnation, but he's like another Elijah. And then you read about John the Baptist, super duper based. I won't get into his story because you said Old Testament, but he's very, very Elijah-like. So I think my vote would probably go to Elijah. Okay, that about wraps it up for this episode. The Think Podcast is a production of the Think Institute and is produced by yours truly, Joel Sedekase. The Think Institute operates under Church Movements, a ministry of Cru under the division of Cru City. To learn about how to support the Think Institute and my family tax-free, go to thethink.institute/partner. I hope you heard something helpful today. I know I did. Remember, this is not goodbye. This has just been a short stop on the journey as we learn to lead our families in defending the Christian message. And we'll see you next time. Until then, I hope it made you think.